Right, it's Monday, January 6th. I'm buying some CrowdStrike here at 365.72. And this is here, kind of at the upper blue, at this blue line. It's a little late. I could have bought it a little earlier, but I still like the context of the upside, which I'll get into in a minute. So we'll see if it heads higher. I'm actually going to explain this one in the context of the videos I just shot, where I analyzed some 6 different stocks that had kind of yearly red bars, and I wanted to see if they might have an opportunity to move higher. If we look at CrowdStrike as an example, this one has a yearly green bar from 2020. A little bit of a selling tail up here, but still it's overall green. So you're kind of biased to the upside to test that high at some point during this year. And then you can see we opened up this year, 2025, and we're currently green, heading higher. So that's in line with it heading towards its target in the big picture. It could have started a little red to start the year, but I still would have been biased to the upside and wait to come, above the open to head higher. In this case, we're moving higher to start the year. So that's a good sign that the continuity is to the upside towards its target. On the weekly chart, what I like about this in the short run is that we now have a 2-up week. First of all, we had a green bar from last week, so I'm expecting that high to be tested. I described how red bars, you expect lows to be tested, green bars you expect highs. So that testing that high also coincided with a broadening formation target where you take out that high and you're expecting this high to be hit. So that's why I'm expecting the stock to get at a minimum to 366.64, and then we'll see on that time frame, on this weekly time frame, does it follow through higher towards some of these next targets, or is that a kind of a reversal area on the weekly chart? And on the daily chart, we had a big green bar yesterday, so I kind of anticipated that high should be tested, and that obviously triggered the weekly, 2-up bar that has its next target up to here. So that's why, even, and then on the very intraday chart, what I like here is that with all that bias to the upside, it came down and started the day red. It actually took out some stops down here, which I kind of like because sometimes algorithms do that. But then we had the big green bar on bar number 2, and that's where you kind of expected that high to be tested. That then all of a sudden triggers that continuation towards some of those other targets. So this green bar here on bar number 2 actually was an interesting, high probability play to kind of test higher in the very short run, and that was the pinball domino effect to hit the daily chart, to keep the daily chart green and then hit the weekly chart on a broadening formation that has targets higher. So I like the big picture context here, and I'm buying it, as it's heading higher because I think it should hit that 366, this weekly target for sure, and then I want to see what develops there. And if all goes well, we'll see this intraday chart, moving up a lot higher as the day goes on. Again, once we hit this target up here, which I'm expecting, I want to see what happens at that inflection point. If we can't reverse from there and get back to the open of the day, then I'm anticipating we working back up to some of these targets. And that's why it's a stock where a lot of things are aligning to the upside, and it's a good buy today. And these are the types of things you want to look for, all over the board. But for CrowdStrike, obviously it's starting to follow through a little bit more from where I just bought it, so that's a good sign. And I just go for base hit gains anyway. It's not like I'm looking to hold on, but I know the context overall. So anyway, I want to see it hit its target up here. At that point, I'll monitor very closely for either continuation or, you never know, I mean, maybe it wants to fail. But today, if it's going to have to fail, it's going to have to get through its daily open and turn this daily chart red, which would then have expectations, to broaden back down here. If not, if we stay green all day long, then you're kind of expecting higher time frame broadening formations, to be hit to the upside.